One Good Thing. Written by Honeysuckle Buttons. Read by Rashi. Today marks a 1-year anniversary, if you can really call it such. No one outside of their relationship would celebrate it exactly. Most people wouldn't, and it seems a little silly to even think about it in such a way. But it has been a whole year regardless. Hooray! A year ago, Shuichi had come home from his therapy session and been the one to broach the subject, offering the idea to Gonta. He'd been embarrassed when the therapist suggested it, because it sounded childish or too simple or something, and his cheeks were pink again when he asked Gonta about it. Once he explained how it would work, which didn't take long. Gonta had given his approval with a grin and vigorous nodding, scooping Shuichi up into a hug. It began a little clumsily, at least for Shuichi, until they got the hang of it. Every night, as they got into bed, both Gonta and Shuichi would tell each other their favorite part of the day, no matter what. That was the deal. Gonta really latched onto his new positive habit, and has since been keeping meticulous track of making sure they have this moment together every single day, if possible. He has a separate journal for this, in fact, and stores it with one of his other journals, where he keeps his goals and inner thoughts. Sometimes the days are full of so many things that he writes down as many as he can so he won't forget, and smiles to himself, grateful for those days. You never know when you're going to have a day when you might need to remember really good things, after all. He does, however, reduce his list to a single great thing when he tells Shuichi, though. He still worries it might come off as bragging, putting an imbalance in the relationship if Shuichi struggles to even have one good thing at all. These days happen, so Gonta worries. Some days, Gonta says something wonderful about his bugs at work. He'll beam so widely that it crinkles the corners of his eyes as he retells a story of his day. All the eggs hatched today. How amazing! Someone found a mate. They're so happy together. Shuichi can't help but grin back, the enthusiasm contagious. Even on days when a beloved bug friend dies, part of Gonta smiles sadly as he tells Shuichi about it. Their bodies, even after death, can be used for other scientific purposes, you know. There's something to be said for watching such a short cycle of life come and go, to watch predators become prey. There's always something to learn, and there's always mouths that hunger. Shuichi will nod slowly on these days, agreeing that learning is important, and that no life goes wasted. Right? Right. Some nights, but hardly often at all, there's been an argument, and the room is tense. It's rare still a problem one of them has with the other, when another bad situation has ruined someone's day. Once in a while, it will follow them home. They're curled up facing separate walls, a gap between them, until someone finally speaks up. Short, dry words inevitably turn softer by the time they're done, and even though they don't turn completely back into each other, Shuichi is interlocking their fingers, or Gonta is hugging Shuichi's back. It's much easier to fall asleep without being so upset. Some nights, they have to settle for a phone call or a video chat. And that's okay. This technology keeps them connected while they're apart. They find themselves slightly more eager after not having seen each other all day. And even if that's the only thing they say, which is unlikely, they tend to ramble through it excitedly, just to hear laughing on the other side. Shuichi's glitchy laugh is so cute. He loves it when Gonta walks around doing things while they chat, hearing doors and keys and pens and light switches. Some nights, Shuichi has more to say than Gonta. It's rare, but it happens. If something particularly interesting happens at work, he'll share in as much detail as he can legally say. Gonta delights in the way Shuichi perks up during times like these. Some of his favorite days are when he's able to reunite a lost pet with their owners, restoring an unbreakable bond. But on his especially hard days at work, not much will get him to smile once he gets home. Some days, It's almost impossible to find something good. Gonta is no stranger to days like this either, but they are becoming fewer for him, and he is awfully grateful for that too. So, once they've had a chance to eat and unwind for the day, and it's time for bed, they don't speak too much. They're in tune with each other's actions, so there's not much need for chatting as they brush their teeth. No toothpaste silly smiles today. No need to say excuse me as one passes between rooms to get into pajamas, although Gonta always sidesteps and gestures ahead anyway. And they're quiet still as they climb into bed together. One usually holds up the sheets for the other, and occasionally they both do it at the same time. Even a hard day wins a small smile from that. As they sink into their pillows, they also sink into each other, the way they do most every night, the way they've done 1,000 times before. Their breathing slows. Shuichi can hear Gonta's heartbeat as he nestles his head into his nice, warm chest. They start out with their arms wrapped tightly around each other, giving a little squeeze, before just gently holding the other. Someone sighs. It's hard to say how long they lay like this, awake in the dark, not moving much, besides some shifting around here and there. Little circles being traced into Shuichi's back, as Shuichi toys absently with Gonta's braid. Gonta presses a kiss to the top of Shuichi's head, not too soft that he can barely feel it, but one long kiss pressed into his hair. Let his hope for a better day be felt through this action. He is here, and the day is over now. See, he will not leave so soon. Mumbling something into Gonta's chest, Shuichi turns his head just enough to be heard, as he keeps his words gentle, an ache in them. Gonta squeezes him tighter, and Shuichi nuzzles back. It's Gonta's turn, and even though he knows exactly what he's going to say, he still hesitates. He'd hate for Shuichi to think he's brushing off this sort of day with his own answer, but he should know. It's the truth. So, he presses another kiss to Shuichi's head, before asking a question. Does Shuichi know what day it is? Wednesday. Shuichi's instant response gives Gonta a good chuckle, but he continues and explains the anniversary as if it were any other big holiday, keeping his voice steady, but having trouble hiding his smile. As he ties it into his favorite part of the day, the smile has stretched far beyond his voice, as he shimmies down on the bed to meet Shuichi's tired eyes. Shuichi's ears are a little red at the comment, but his smile has returned, and his eyes are looking back with such a softness Gonta's still not used to. Even after all this time, that look makes him nearly breathless. And by the look of it, Shuichi's feeling the same. And this time, it's Shuichi who pulls Gonta closer, tugs at his neck gently, until they meet in the middle, and smile into a kiss. What else are you supposed to do when you're someone's favorite part of the day?